Suck it up, Buttercup.
Chop chop, lollipop.
Today's vlog might be the most important vlog I do for you guys. It might be the vlog that you refer to the most. In vlog 13, we're going to talk about setting your calories and macros for fat loss. So guys, here's the thing about diets, weight loss, nutrition plans. There's a ton of them out there that work. You guys need to pick the one that works best with your lifestyle. I assume you guys follow me because I lost 75 pounds. And I had an amazing transformation, and I'm here to teach you guys exactly how I did that. Just because I have my way doesn't mean that any other way is worse. You know, for instance, there's lots of research to support ketogenic diets. For me, that's just not for me. My way is a way I can adapt to my lifestyle, and I think most of you can too. We fit some bad foods in moderation into our diets. We just eat the bad foods at our body's ability to process them. So that's what I want to teach you guys today, where to start, how to get going. It is an art form. I will say that. There is an art form to it, but I'm going to give you guys just the basics. And then if you can try it out. If you need help adapting to your specific body, then message me and I'll be glad to do that for you guys. First thing I do with all my clients is have them track their daily calorie intake for 3 or 4 days. It just depends. Not dieting, just eating what they normally eat while working out. And then after 3 or 4 days, they let me know how their body is reacting. Is your weight staying the same? Is your weight going up? Is your weight going down? All those calculators you use online are assuming that you have a healthy metabolism. When what I've found in training thousands of people over the years is that most people don't have a healthy metabolism, and those calculators you're using online often don't apply. So we need to figure out where your caloric intake is for you to be at homeostasis. Like, what is your level of calories where your body's happy, your body's maintaining weight? When we figure that out, then if your goal is fat loss, we can cut your calories, but we've got to be doing it at a safe and effective rate. We don't want to drop it too much. We want to avoid metabolic damage. That's the key. Here's what you guys need to focus on. You want to eat as much as possible while losing ½ pound to 2 pounds per week. And that may not sound like a lot, but 2 pounds a week is 104 pounds in a year. Most of you don't have 104 pounds to lose in a year. So that's more than enough to reach your goal. If you're morbidly obese, then that 5 to 7 pounds a week is perfectly fine. What you don't want to do is try to hit the numbers you guys are seeing on The Biggest Loser, where people are dropping 12, 15, 20 pounds a week. Not good. You're going to create metabolic damage. Here's your goals. This is general guidelines, general things you want to try to hit. For some of you, this isn't going to work because your calorie intake is really high. If your calorie intake's really high, you're going to be getting too much protein that's really not necessary. But as a general guideline, this is a good place to start. It makes it as simple as possible. Protein, you're going to shoot for 40 to 50% of your caloric intake being protein. Carbs, 30 to 40%. Fats, 20 to 30%. In the next segment, I'm going to show you exactly how to figure those, but just stick with me. More specific goals, like if you're really locked in, this is what I would really prefer you shoot for. protein, we want 0.6 to 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. So if you're a 200-pound male, real simple. Take 0.8, multiply it by 200. That's how many grams of protein you want in a day. Or you can do 1 gram per pound of lean mass if you know what your lean mass is. Most people don't, so that's why we always go with 0.6 to 0.8 per pound of body weight. Fats, we want your fats between 20 and 30%, and then carbs are gonna fill in the rest. All of that while at a caloric deficit, a healthy caloric deficit, is gonna help you achieve fat loss. Last thing, this pyramid you see. I always get people asking, what's more important, calories or macros? So here is a pyramid showing the importance. Calories, number 1, always number 1. Macros, your proteins, fats, and carbs, number 2. Micros, meaning your vitamins and minerals that you're getting from fruits, vegetables, maybe daily supplement you're taking. Number 3, meal frequency. There is literally no benefit to eating 5 to 6 meals a day or 1 to 2. Doesn't matter. Do what fits in your lifestyle. The important thing with meal frequency is post and pre-workout. That's where meal frequency is important. Supplements at the very top. Supplements are not at the bottom because supplements aren't magic. Supplements make about a 5% difference in your end results. If you have supplements in your budget, then definitely get them in there. They will help you get to your goals faster. We're gonna do another vlog on supplements and what supplements I recommend and believe in, but that's not this blog. So, all right guys, that's your goals, that's your general guidelines. In the next segment, we're gonna talk about how to figure your exact grams of protein, fats, and carbs that you need every day to achieve fat loss. Got it. Good. Before we do a specific example, let me real quick show you what you need to know. Number 1, there are 4 calories in 1 gram of protein. Number 2, there are also 4 calories in 1 gram of carbs. Lastly, there are 9 calories in 1 gram of fat. This is important for what's coming up. All right, here's our example. We've got a male weighing 220 pounds, not currently working out. He's tracked his calories for 4 to 7 days, and he's figured out that he eats about 2,400 calories, and he's maintaining his weight. So, here's what we're gonna do. So in this example where we've got a 220-pound male not working out, eating 2,400 calories, which is a good thing, that's a pretty good amount. What I would first do is talk to him and see how many days he thinks he could work out. How many days can he commit to, depending on his lifestyle. Hopefully 2, 3, it'd be really good to get it 5 or 6 times a week working out. But at this point, starting out, I don't know how much he's really gonna be able to work out. So we're gonna keep his calories at 2,400. We're gonna make sure he's getting sufficient protein, the right amount of carbs, the right amount of fats, and we're gonna wait for 2 to 3 weeks. 1 week of change is not a big enough sample size to really know how your body's gonna react, and that's an important thing. Many of you make changes to your diet, and after 1 or 2 days, you freak out and you go back to the way you were eating. It's really important when you make any change to your diet to hold fast, hold it there for 2 or 3 weeks to get a real good sample size of how your body's gonna react. So in this case, we're gonna keep his calories at 2,400, we're gonna figure out his macros, and we're gonna try to get him working out and see if we can get some movement on the scale. So let's first figure out this client's macros by using the general guidelines I showed you earlier, that 40-40-20, meaning 40% protein, 40% carbs, 20% fat. And then I will show you the specific guidelines, the guidelines I prefer that will be more accurate. So using our general guidelines of 40% protein, 40% carbs, and 20% fat, let's go ahead and figure out how much protein, carbs, and fats this client needs at 2,400 calories. To figure his protein, we're going to take 2,400 times 0.4 for the 40%. We get 960 calories of his 2,400 calories are going to be allotted for protein. Now, how do you figure out the grams? You take 960 divided by 4. Remember earlier we talked about there are 4 calories in 1 gram of protein. So you take 960, divide by 4. That leaves you 240 grams of protein is what this client will be shooting for. Now earlier I also stated that using the 40-40-20 rule can oftentimes give you too much protein or an amount of protein that's not necessary. 240 grams of protein for a 220-pound male, probably a little more than is necessary. So the specific guidelines I'll show you in a little bit are probably going to be better in this case, but this will work also. Now remember how we also stated that there are 4 calories in 1 gram of carbs? That means figuring your carbs is going to be really simple if you're at a 40-40-20 split. If your carbs are the same amount of protein, you know the math is going to be exactly the same. So you're going to have 240 grams of carbs allotted as well. Now let's go ahead and figure your fats. You have 2,400 calories. Remember, we're shooting for 20% fat in this scenario. So 2,400 times 0.2 equals 480 calories in fat. You take that 480, now we're dividing by 9 since there's 9 calories in 1 gram of fat. That leaves you 53 grams of fat that this client gets. So using the 40-40-20 split, he's going to shoot for 240 grams of protein, 240 grams of carbs, and 53 grams of fat. That will put him right at 2,400 calories and a perfect ratio of protein, carbs, and fats for fat loss. All right, now that you know how to figure your macros at 40-40-20, let's get a little more specific and dial in on the exact amount of protein you need. In this scenario, 220-pound male, we're going to shoot for 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So you take 220, multiply that by 0.8, that gives you 176 grams of protein that this gentleman will need. Take 176, multiply that by 4 to get how many calories of protein. 704 calories. You're going to subtract that from 2,400, and I'll show you why in a minute. Just keep that in mind. I just want to show you guys how to do that. So the right amount of protein for a 220-pound male at 2,400 calories is 176 grams. The next thing you're going to do using the specific guidelines is figure out the percentage of fats, because then carbs are going to fill in the rest. So here's how we do that. We have 2,400 calories. We're shooting for 25% fat, so we're going to multiply that by 0.25. That gives us 600 of our 2,400 calories are allotted for fats. Take 600 divided by 9, that gets you 67 grams of fat. So now, in order to figure our carbs, we do the following. You take the 2,400 calories minus the 704 calories in protein minus the 600 calories in fat. That leaves you 1,096 calories that you have to fill in with carbohydrates. So you take that 1,096, divide it by 4, leaves you 274 grams of carbohydrates. So with the specific guidelines, this gentleman's now getting 176 grams of protein, 274 carbs, and 67 grams of fat, versus the general guidelines of 240 grams of protein, 240 grams of carbs, and 53 grams of fat. I know, a little bit confusing, especially if you're just starting out, but hey, guess what? That's why you have me. I'm here to help you guys in any way I can. Now that you have your calories figured out, your macros figured out, it becomes a little bit of an art form on how much to reduce your calories, when to reduce them, and all while avoiding metabolic damage. You never want to cut your calories too much because your metabolism will slow down and then you'll be dead in the water. So like I said earlier on in the vlog, a general guideline is to shoot for 1/2 pound to 2 pounds lost per week. If you're losing at that rate, things are going good. If you're at 2,400 calories in this case, let's say you're losing that 1/2 pound to 2 pounds a week, and then you eventually plateau, which is going to happen, then you cut your calories even further. Maybe you go down to 2,200 and you readjust your macros, and hopefully weight loss picks up again. The last piece of advice I want to let you guys know is to avoid metabolic damage. General guidelines in my experience have been, if you're a male working out 5 to 6 days a week, never drop your calories below 1,800. That's as low as you should go. Once you get to that point, if you're not losing weight, you have metabolic damage, you need to reverse diet. Females, if you're working out 5 to 6 days a week, never go below 1,200 calories. If you get to that 1,200 calorie mark, you're working out and you're not losing weight, you have metabolic damage, and you need to work on reverse dieting. And if you guys don't have metabolic damage, you definitely need to see a doctor, get your blood work checked to make sure there's nothing going on with your thyroid or hormones, that kind of thing. So anyway, I know lots of information, guys. That's why I said hopefully you had a pen handy. Hopefully you bookmarked this. Please like, subscribe, share this. It really helps the channel grow, and it really helps me reach some people who are really struggling out there with weight loss and just have no idea where to start. And if you've watched this vlog and it still seems really confusing, then just send me an email and I'm happy to help you guys figure it out. Now that you know your calories and your macros, or you've emailed me and I've sent those to you, here's what's most likely going to happen. You're going to start logging your nutrition, you're going to start figuring out your day, and you're going to think, Lance is crazy. I cannot get that much protein in my diet. You can, you just don't think you can because you're used to eating more carbs than protein. So here's what you do. Go to lance.tdnation.com, click on Get My Free Ebook and Meal Plan. If you guys click on that, I'm gonna send you an ebook. I designed a 3-week meal plan with those ratios of proteins, fats, and carbs already worked out for you with awesome healthy recipes that the entire family will enjoy. I've taken all the guesswork out for you. I'm not gonna spam you. I'm not gonna bother you. This is just my gift for you. I wanna make sure that you guys have every tool to succeed, and this ebook is a big part of that. So just message me, I'll send you your free ebook, and you'll have everything laid out for you.
It's raining in here. It's raining men.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share. Thanks, guys.